Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and I hope you're all having a great day. And in today's video, this is going to be something that I've never tried before. We're going to be doing a PUBG quiz in order to test about how well you know this game. So I figured I'm going to give you guys a bunch of questions, and they can be anything ranging from pretty easy ones that anybody's going to know to some definitely more tricky ones. And I want to know how well you guys do, so make sure that you follow along and let me know your score down in the comment section. And because this is a video format that I've never tried before, and I want to know if you guys enjoy it, make sure to leave a like rating if you want to see more videos put together like this. If you want a quiz that's maybe a bit harder, a bit easier, I'll take your guys' feedback from this one, and we'll see where it goes from there. But drop a like if you guys want to see more stuff like this as well. And also, if you are brand new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe if you are not already, so you don't miss any more quiz videos or just any PUBG content that I post on here, and I'd appreciate that a lot. Last but not least, guys, I'm selling exclusive Chopper merch for a very limited time, so if you scroll down, it should be in the Teespring link down below, and you can go check that out. If you like what you see, go ahead and cop one. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this quiz. Now, this is going to be set up in a multiple choice format for a lot of these, and all the questions are going to be numbered, so if you want to let me know your score at the end, just put the number and whether you got it correct or incorrect. So question number 1, which gun of these has the fastest traveling bullets? Is it the MK47 Mutant? Is it the AWM? Is it the Mini 14? Or is it the Car 98? I'll let you think about this one for a moment. Pause the video if you need some more time to consider this one, but the answer to this one is actually going to be none other than B. The AWM has the fastest traveling bullets in the entire game, with a close second coming up to the Mini. The Mini's bullets used to be unbelievably fast, but they've been nerfed a little bit since the gun has come out. The Car 98 also does have really fast bullets, all things considered, but it's not quite as quick as the M24, which is its other counterpart, and it's certainly not as quick as the AWM, but this has to take the correct spot. If you got that right, then congratulations, you're 1 for 1 already. Moving on here, in question number 2, this is going to be a true or false, so this one, you got a 50-50 shot at it. So the question is the SLR older than the SKS? Meaning, has this gun been in the game longer than the SKS? True or false? I'll give you a moment to think about this one as well. Now, I will say that for some platforms, this may have happened at the same time. These guns might not be older than each other. They might have just been there from the beginning. But originally, for some platforms, only one of these guns was in the game at one time. The other one got added later. So true or false, the SLR is older than the SKS is actually false. The truth is, the SKS is much older than the SLR. Even though they're very similar in weapons, the SLR didn't get added until Miramar came out, or shortly after that when it came for PC. And I believe the original version of the console build didn't have the SLR either until a future update. But when it comes to being a weapon feature in this game, the SKS has been around for much longer. Alright, if you got that right, then you're 2 for 2. Congrats, you're doing well so far. So get ready for this one. Question number 3. What percentage of a damage reduction does a level 3 vest grant you? So what percentage of all incoming damage that hits your vest get reduced by? Is it A, 25%? Is it B, 50%? Is it C, 55%, or is it D, 75%? So definitely sit back and think about this one for a moment, because it's not entirely obvious exactly how much damage reduction you get from this. It doesn't really tell you in game unless you've done your research to figure out what exactly this does for you. But for those of you who have paid attention, maybe you've played the game long enough to know this, the answer to this is in fact C, 55%. Now, all of the other options are not even correlated to the level 1 and 2 vests. With level 1, you get a 30% damage reduction. With level 2, you get a 40% damage reduction, which is a 10% increase, of course. And then with level 3, you jump up to a 15% increase at 55. That one was definitely a little bit tricky, and if you haven't been playing the game for a long time, odds are you probably didn't know this one unless you went and did your research about this, because it doesn't tell you in-game exactly how much damage it takes off. But that applies for all vests and helmets and stuff, so that's pretty cool. But moving on here to question number 4. Which of these assault rifles cannot run a flash hider for the barrel attachment? Is it A, the M16? Is it B, the barrel? Is it C, the AKM? Or D, for the Groza? Think about your answer for this one very carefully, and I'm going to unveil it as soon as you guys are ready. The correct choice for which assault rifle cannot run a flash hider in this game right now is, of course, D, the Groza. All of the other choices for assault rifles, they can run flash hiders, they can run compensators, which also the Groza cannot run either. It can run a suppressor though, so that's why this question could have been a little bit tricky had I asked that. But yeah, if you guessed D on that one was a little bit bit easier. Congratulations, you're still at 100% if you've gotten all these correct. Okay, but moving on here, and question number 5. Does the first aid kit weigh more space in your backpack than a painkiller does? So to clarify that question, does a first aid kit take up more backpack inventory than, say, a painkiller does? A lot of us never really realize about how much exactly a lot of items weigh. Like, for example, the Molotov is one of the heaviest items in the game for whatever reason. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but you cannot carry a ton of them. Same thing with frag grenades, although you can carry maybe a little bit more of those. But when it comes to meds, I think this is pretty important to know. And now that you've had a bit of time to think about this one, true or false, does the first aid kit weigh more than a painkiller in your backpack? The answer to this is actually false. The first aid kit and the painkiller weigh the same amount. And when I first learned this, I was kind of shocked because I think when we're playing and our minds really see the first aid kit and the painkiller, the first aid kit is like this massive bag that you're putting in your backpack, but the painkiller is, you know, just a bottle of pills. So it would be probably pretty clear that the painkiller would weigh less, but it doesn't. It's the exact same amount. So that might be pretty useful to know, and that's another reason why I always recommend carrying way more energy drinks than having painkillers. I just think they're way more efficient as an item. That one was quite a tricky question. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you guys got that wrong, but don't feel bad if you did, because I would have got that wrong before I knew that as well. Okay, but keep it moving here, and question number 6. Which of these weapons was never a crate gun? So which of these never appeared in airdrops? Is it A, the DP-28? Is it B, the Tommy gun, C, the VSS, or D, the M24? Now, currently in PUBG, all of these weapons can be found in common spawn on the ground, but one of these out of the list never was in airdrops, and so which one of these fits that bill? Now, I think if you've paid attention to either a lot of my videos, or you've been playing the game for a long time, or you just generally know a lot about the game, you're gonna know the correct answer to this is actually A, the DP-28. All of the other weapons on this list appeared in airdrops at one point or another. Yeah, even the Tommy gun and even the VSS. These guns were once regarded as so good that they had to be secluded to airdrops, except the DP-28, which wasn't in the game at launch, but was one of the first weapons to be added post-launch, and then it was like a common spawn weapon on the ground that you could find, but it was one of the first ones to be added, so I thought that was pretty cool. If you've gotten everything right so far, I'm very impressed. If you've gotten a couple wrong, don't worry about it, because you still got a lot more to go through. Now, question number 7. Which of these assault rifles is the fastest firing AR? Is it A, the Scar L? Is it B, the M416? Is it C, the QBZ? Or D, the G36C? Now this one's a bit tough because all these assault rifles are pretty much very, very similar statistically, and they have very minor differences when it comes to a lot of their properties, but there is one that is outstanding amongst the rest when it comes to fire rate at least, and if you know what that one is, then you're going to get this question right. The correct answer to question 7 is B, the M416. If you paid attention to my videos again, or you just know a lot about the game, this is why the M4 is so popular. It's one of the most well-rounded ARs in the game, and it has a faster fire rate than the Scar L, and then like all the other counterparts, the QBZ and the G36. The reason why a lot of players, including myself, gravitate towards this weapon is because if you can master that fire rate, it's an extremely effective weapon. The Scar L, while it does shoot a little bit slower, I will say is easier to control. So maybe if you're new to the game and you want to learn the gun, starting with the Scar L and then going later to master the M4, which is a little bit more difficult to control, but still isn't too bad, is probably a good idea. All right, moving on, and question number 8. This is going to be a true or false. Does the buggy vehicle appear on Sanhok? Now, all of the maps have their own specific vehicles and replacements for certain types of them, but does the buggy appear on the map Sanhok? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Sanhok has the most unique vehicles, like as far as getting new ones added that were not in there post-launch, and then, you know, a bunch of replacements for already existing vehicles. Sanhok has a lot that you can choose from in that map, which is ironic because it has the least amount of incentive to use vehicles in the map because it's so small. But regardless, now that you've had some time to think about this question, the answer to this, does the buggy appear on Sanhok, is actually true. This is one of the few, like, still remaining vehicles that hasn't got replaced by anything on the map. And I'd say it's actually one of the most effective to run on Sanhok as well, if you're going to use a vehicle. But if you got that one correct and you've gotten all the previous questions correct as well, then you are 8 for 8. And now we have a couple more to go over. So if you can do this flawlessly, I'll be pretty impressed. Now, question number 9. This is going to go go ahead and be another true or false. Is it true or false that the Adrenaline Syringe, which is a very rare boost item, which also used to be in drops, is it true that this takes longer to use than a painkiller? Now, both of these items give you back boost meter, right? The painkiller gives you 60 points of boost, while the Adrenaline fills up your entire bar and gives you 100 points of boost as soon as you pop it. So, is it true that the Adrenaline Syringe takes longer to use, though, however, than the painkiller? The answer to this question is actually false. The Adrenaline Syringe, although it does give you way more boost than the painkiller or even the energy drink does, it takes the exact same amount of time to use as a painkiller. They both have a 6-second casting time. Now, there is one downside to using Adrenaline Syringes. Number one, they are very rare to find, and also they don't stack in your inventory, so they can take up a ridiculous amount of space if you're trying to carry more than one or two, so it's probably not worth it. But as far as like just getting some boost in a tough situation, you're going to want to have an Adrenaline Syringe because it doesn't take any longer to use to a painkiller, and you get way more boost with it as well. All right, if you got that one correct, congratulations. We have two more to go over, and these are going to be some pretty tough ones. Now, this is going to end it off and be the final two. So question number 10, when using an item such as a heal or a boost, at what timestamp can you start moving without breaking the effect? So you know how when you move, if you're like using a first aid kit, say, it's gonna, you know, cancel the effect and it'll put it away. At what second point can you move while using that item that it won't cancel the effect, but you can still like move without completely waiting till the 0? Is it A, 1 second exactly? Is it B, 0.7 seconds left? Is it C, 0.6 left? Or is it D, 0.5 left? Now, don't get this confused with moving around like and jiggling a little bit. You'll see it in a lot of my gameplay when I'm healing, like I'll move around or I'll peek a little bit, so you can put a minimal amount of movement in without canceling the effect. But when it comes to actually getting up and starting to walk away, which of these timestamps you can do that, but without canceling the effect and still getting that heal or that boost in? The answer to this question is going to be D, 0.5 seconds. As soon as you see on your screen, if you're using an item to hit that 0.5, at that point, you can get up and start moving, and you'll still get the effect while you can, you know, save half a second of being able to move. And this can, you know, save your life if the blue is like right on your back, and it's going to come down to the wire. If you're able to move in this amount of time and you know this without canceling the item, which is very important as well, then this could save your life. So that's question number 10. If you've got that right and you're still 100%, that's wild. Now, the final question today is going to be question number 11, and this is going to be true or false. Can a Winchester rifle one-shot a player who is wearing no vest? Now, this is not a headshot. It's not even a neck shot. It's going to be where the vest would be protecting them, but they have absolutely no armor. So can a Winchester one-shot a player like that? The answer to this question, I'll let you think about this one for a moment, is going to be false. Last time I checked, a Winchester without a vest who shot in the upper chest will do 99 damage to a player. So literally bring them down to quite a sliver of health, where if the wind blows too hard, they're gonna die. But it will not actually one-shot a player, which is kind of sad. That's one reason why I think the Winchester just doesn't really cut it, even though it's almost as powerful as something like a Kar 98. You can't put an attachment on it, and it also doesn't have that one-shot kill capacity, even without armor. So that does kind of suck at the end of the day. But ladies and gentlemen, if you got all these questions correct, then congratulations, you got 100% on this quiz. But if you didn't, let me know which ones you got wrong, and I'm genuinely curious to see what your guys' score was. Now, also, let me know in the comment section for the next quiz that I make, do you want the difficulty to be somewhere around this one? Do you want it to be easier? Do you want it to be harder? Let me know. I'm going to base the next one off your guys' feedback, but as this is the first one, I wanted to mix in some easy questions with some more difficult ones. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the video for today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating. Subscribe if you are brand new to the channel around here, of course, so you don't miss any more quizzes or just content like this. I'd appreciate it a lot. Go follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, links in the description, and go check out the merch. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching once again. Have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.